My childhood was mostly like really happy. It was also kind of like innocent and, in some respects boring. I mean, I had these incredibly disciplined parents who had incredible morals. They were super strict and they believed in like respect. My mother was always like, if you don't respect yourself, no one else will respect you, right? They were the type of parents who had like values and they downloaded the values to you. Now, of course, I was also a middle child, so I kind of had this role of being like the bridge builder between the parents and the kids. My dad would have like these family meetings, very serious, where he was announcing the edicts of the parents or whatever, and I would say like, the children don't agree. The children think this. Like, I thought of myself, I guess, as an advocate. My sister was probably like rolling her eyes, and my brother, I don't know what he was doing in the moment. But that's middle child for you. So my scariest moment as a young person was a time when I was working with my sister. We were like early teens, like, I don't know, I may have been 12, she was 14. We were working, my father had a record shop. And my sister and I worked there during the summer. We were there by ourselves to open in the morning. And these guys came in and they had a sawed-off shotgun and they robbed us. And, when they asked for the money, my sister, who is like such a tough one, was like lipping, saying things back and forth to them like, why are you trying to rob us early in the morning? All we have is opening cash. And I'm like, why is she talking? There's a big rifle staring at us. And then at some point, like one of the guys who didn't have a gun said, man, you should take care of her or whatever, some horrible threatening thing. And I was thinking, should I volunteer? I mean, should I stand up and say, no, take me? But I was like, she's 2 years. She's 2 years older and she shouldn't have been mouthing off. So anyway, the bottom line is like the guy with the gun was like, nah, man, let's just get out of here. And then they left. I was so devastated for weeks. The situation that actually had the largest impact on me, I think, as a child was the assassination of Martin Luther King. It was the night before my 8th birthday, and he was shot down, and he had been a hero of mine. Everyone in my family was weeping. The fires were burning all over the city, and I remember sort of having this commitment in my mind, like, I want to live out this person's dream. Like, this man has sacrificed so much, as well as so many people in the civil rights era, and I want to make good on that dream. And I actually was a beneficiary in many ways because, like, what often happens in this country, like we have a reckoning, certain events happen and they cause us to have a reckoning, and all of a sudden a lot of the doors that were closed and the kind of exclusion that I faced as a little kid kind of disappeared, or at least opened a bit so that I could go through. And then they also let us move around the city to go whatever school we wanted to. We were initially assigned to neighborhood schools, and then we got to go anywhere. I took 3 buses to my middle school, but it made all the difference in the world because it actually set me up to go to like an exam high school. Then that went to Barnard, and then Barnard to Harvard, and so yeah, it was extremely significant in my childhood. Okay. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a go-go dancer. Okay, I don't even know if people know what a go-go dancer is, but like back in the 60s and 70s, there were like these sort of very thinnish wafer-like, and then they would have on these longer leather white boots, and they would be like on like a little platform, and they would be dancing. I thought it was fabulous, and I would take my little white boots, like snow boots, and I would pretend that I was a go-go dancer. My mother was not having it. And then I wanted to be a clown because I went to the circus and I saw that they were making people happy, and I was like, oh, I could be a clown. No, my mother was no. So then I actually ultimately I wanted to be a nurse because, I saw how amazing nurses were. And that was, okay, allowed. But then I ultimately wanted to be a writer and then a lawyer. What keeps me going when I'm facing difficult times or adversity is, gratitude. I have been blessed with incredible parents and family and ancestors. And when I'm feeling the least bit afraid or confused, I just remember where I come from and whom I am. And I really take a lot of my courage and my wisdom from my beautiful parents and my family and ancestors. I also really, I've been a mom for a long time, and that whole process of bringing another human being into the world and helping to shape and support them taught me a lot about how challenges are really opportunities. And this has been true in all of my work. Just as when I think things are difficult and present problems, I start to also see that they're real opportunities. And so ultimately, I think the thing that really strengthens me and allows me to see the opportunities is my faith in my Creator, which is everything. Whenever you're trying to move through something that is difficult, you're not going to see the opportunity unless you also bring some faith along. And with that faith, you bring work along. And little by little, you're on the other side of the problem. So that is how I stay connected, and also how I remain enthusiastic and optimistic no matter what.